So today I wanted to talk about mango seeds and sprouting mango seeds. And this time in the season, basically all of the mangoes have been picked off the trees, and finally I have some time to sprout some mangoes. And there's basically two reasons that I sprout mangoes. One is for rootstock, because I am trying to graft a lot of 1 gallon mangoes, the varieties that we have that are not commonly available in grafted plants. And the other reason is I like to sprout seeds to just get a scion from that particular plant to put on another plant to see if the fruit is good. So right here I have 1 gallon plant, and these will be rootstock as soon as they grow a little bit more. In this pot, it's a mess. There's just tons of seedlings growing all over the place, which is fine, because all I'm doing is getting scions from this, and then that's the end of their purpose. That's after I graft it successfully somewhere, then this can be planted somewhere or just discarded. When I just want to plant the seeds to get scions, I just put a whole bunch of the same variety of seed in a pot or in an area of the ground, and then whatever sprouts gets grafted. But when I want to use it for rootstock, it's I have to be a little more particular. And so these pots here have 1 seed each in them, and I'm actually trying something a little bit different this year. I noticed with the Valencia Pride seed that the root always seems to be going down, and the sprout going up. It's more of a vertical thing. Typically people just put a seed on the surface of a soil and cover it up with something, either more soil or leaves or even sawdust. But since I noticed that the Valencia Pride seed had more of a vertical growth habit, I thought I'd work with that. Also, I have had customers from India saying that all they did when they were eating mangoes in India is they just shoved the seed into the ground and it just sprouted fine. So anyway, that is sort of this experiment, where the top of the seed is, right there, and the sprout is emerging. And so we'll see how that goes. But I also have a few other experiments. In the past, I have not sprouted a lot of seeds, and what I've done is just basically left some seeds in the kitchen sink, and the intermittent water that was flowing over them seemed to make it easy for the kernels to burst out of the seed. It's like a clamshell, and so there needs to be some moisture, I guess, so that the roots and the sprout can emerge from that seed. And so that worked out pretty well, but you cannot do volumes of you cannot do a lot of mango seeds at once and still have like a normal kitchen. So this year what I've tried is this is one of my new things. This is a crate that produce is shipped in, and I thought it would make it a good place to sprout things. This medium that it's in is hardwood shavings. We have a customer, a wonderful man named Ricardo, who's a cabinet maker, and he uses hardwood. He gets garbage bagfuls of shavings, and of course they're great for all sorts of purposes, but I thought I'd try it out with the mango seeds, and it seems to be working pretty well. Last year, because we were in the middle of mango season and I didn't have much time, I just tried putting mango seeds in a similar situation, but using mulch on top of it. That was not successful. And I think the reason why it was not successful was that, in the chippings that tree companies have, there's a lot of leaves in that. And that was sort of creating a nice area for fungus to take root. And so I think the fungus got into the mango seeds also. But this time I put a lot of seeds in here. Some of them had their seed coat on them, and some of them I took out of the seed coat, and so far it seems like a very successful thing. When I, like taking a seed out of its seed coat, this one I just got from the ground and sort of washed off, but some varieties are easier than others. This, I think, is a Valencia Pride, which is easy because I can feel that the seed kernel here is not taking up the whole seed coat. And so what I do, because I don't have all the tools that professionals have, is I just, like cut the seed coat, and something, I'm getting lucky this time. Just by twisting it, I was able to get, open up that side of the seed coat. So there's the kernel. And a seed will sprout faster and the root system will be better if you just plant the seed kernel. You have to be careful though, because it just doesn't, its only purpose, at least according to squirrels, is not just to make another plant, but squirrels really like to eat them. It's like a delicacy. So if you're going to sprout a bunch of seed kernels without their seed coat, put it in a protected area, or maybe you're lucky enough not to have any squirrels, but we have a lot of them. So this particular tray of mango seedlings is in a screened enclosure, so not a problem there. Since I already have this seed kernel, I'll just find a place that doesn't have a seed in here and put it in this, these shavings. This holds a little bit of moisture, but it doesn't seem to hold enough to make fungus. So it seems like it's a happy place for the seeds. While we're here, let me show you an interesting thing. This is sort of what happens often when a seed sprouts without intervention. The root is pushing this seed coat up. It's already split, and basically it's, you have to be careful in case there's leaves or something underneath, but basically, there we go. I think I'm okay. A lot of times it'll come off easier than this, but I'm just trying to ease it off, and look at that. That's funny. This is, the root is growing from the bottom here, and the rest of the seed is here. Actually, I think this might be the bottom. It's hard to say, but yeah, I think we need to just pull this out and look to see what's happening, because obviously this is not the way the plant normally grows. So I'll just try and ease out this root. It should come out fairly easy, except for there are other things growing in here. I think I got most of it. So there we go. There's the root. This is unfortunate. See, this is the sprout that's ending up over here. Oh no, maybe that's actually another embryo. See, there's cracks in this this seed, and each one of those cracks is sort of it defines where the different embryos are. So here's one, there's one, and so this seed has the potential of at least or making at least, looks like 6 plants, but not all of those will form. But this little teeny shoot has just only this amount of food to use, and so it's sort of a tough road there. This particular shoot, the leaves are very, very new. That will probably be okay. But yeah, this is a very confusing plant and seed. It's definitely not ideal. Polyembryonic seeds are often used, or typically used, in the large-scale grafting operations, because most of the seedlings are identical to each other. But this is the downside, is that a lot of these embryos will never make it, will never develop, and there's all that food that is just going to waste. So here's Over here is a polyembryonic one, and we have 5 shoots coming out of that right here. So again, not ideal. This one might even be from the same seed. Here we have just one strong shoot forming, so that's nice. That will be ready to graft a lot sooner than the other ones will be. And here we have another polyembryonic one in the corner. You see 3 different shoots coming out of one area. So we've tried, some of these were in their seed coats and some of them were not. This one here I took out. It's nice and green, which is fun. It probably just because of being exposed to a low-level light, it developed some green to it, but that's not sprouted out yet. So these seedlings I was hoping to use as rootstock. Now the ones in this pot, I've only gotten 2 germinating so far, but these are ones that I'm interested in as far as grafting them onto other plants to see if the fruit is going to be good or not, or better than the parent. Of course this was last year's project, and this year I'm grafting this. And then all these seedlings, like this one, is a Valencia Pride seedling, which is a monoembryonic seed, and so that should be a nice, should make a nice plant to graft onto fairly soon. So hopefully in a few weeks I can graft onto that. So when it comes to planting seeds, these are the 2 ways I do it. Either plant it into soil or into wood shavings. Sometimes I soak the seeds in some water ahead of time. Sometimes I just try to take the seed coat off anyway. But sometimes I also will find little seedlings in areas of the grove, and I just dig them up, and as long as they survive, it works out great. This seedling here has a story. I actually saw it when it just had these purple leaves and just a few inches out of the soil, and so I got a little trowel to dig it up, but unfortunately it was wedged into some hard stuff. I couldn't get the trowel down very far, and it turned out it ended up with this much root. Its taproot was like an inch or less long, and so I was a little concerned about that because it's hard to grow plants without roots. So what I did was, it was just these 4 leaves that are now green little stubs that were on the plant when I dug it out, and so I actually just tore the leaves off, like most of the leaf off, because then it decreases the demand on the root. And so these were little purple stubs, and I put it in soil and put it in a shady location, and it seems to have recovered perfectly. So this seedling it represents my other way of getting mango seedlings for rootstock, is that especially under the turpentine tree, seedlings sprout, and we can dig them up, check out if the root development is good, and pot them up if they are. So for grafting on a small scale, there are definitely options. You can plant seeds, the whole seed. You can take off the seed coat by different methods, or you can just look for mango seedlings that have popped up on their own. But yeah, it's a nice thing to do because, of course, grafting is easy, and then also I do like my projects, and so this is one of those projects to, grow out seedlings and graft them onto some other tree. So good luck with your mango seeds and all your seedling adventures.